Get ready for your daily dose of WordPress and web development tips, tricks, and insights to help you find success with WordPress. You're listening to WP the Podcast with your hosts, David Blackman and Tim Streifler.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of WP the Podcast, brought to you by WP Gears. I'm David Blackman.
And I'm Tim Streifler.
Today we're going to discuss what kind of interview questions should a non-technical person ask. Me, for example, not a developer. I'll be the first person to admit that. And sometimes it can be a little tricky. I've got these technical projects that come up, maybe a website that's a little bit above my head, e-commerce, for example, and I want to outsource it. Well, I need to find somebody who can do that. I've had to learn over time what the best questions are, how to evaluate these people. So we felt like this might be a good topic to cover because there's a lot of people out there using WordPress that aren't developers because it's open source, it's a do-it-yourself type kind of platform. There's lots of YouTube videos, but what happens when you do need that extra technical someone? And we thought we'd just cover it a little bit. So, yeah. Tim, you...
Definitely. And some of these questions here are questions from learning the hard way where, outsourcing and I don't want to say fully getting screwed over, but in a way almost like not being taken advantage of, I guess is a good way to put it. And so then the next time around, okay, I'm going to make sure that I ask this question so I get that out of the way so that doesn't happen again. And so these are questions that have been based off of both of our experiences. So the first one here is, do you use a WordPress theme or build your own? And so not that if someone's using an existing framework or an existing theme is necessarily a bad thing, but asking that question, you'll get a feel for what their skill set is, what level they're at. Because someone that, if you're looking for someone to build a website for you or outsource, you want them to build it, you already have the designs, you want them to build it. Well, you want to know what their capabilities are, because if there's someone that can only use a page builder and they don't really know beyond that, well, then they're probably not a good fit. And so that question can, right away, how they answer it, really give you a good idea of where they're at in terms of their skills.
The next question that I like to ask is, what types of programming languages do they know, and what is their skill set? I ask them to, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rate your CSS, for example? Scale of 1 to 10, PHP, jQuery, JavaScript. And this kind of gives me a basic good idea of, how good of a programmer they are. And my experience is most people aren't going to lie on this question, I'm a 10, because they're fearful that the very next question that's coming is, good, I have this little test prepared for you, and can you take it for me? So if they tell you they're a 10, and you give them a quick quiz, they could, it's in the back of their mind. So I've never actually given a quiz or a test, but I've found that 99.9% of the time, if not 100% of the time, they're very truthful on their skill set levels because they feel like that's going to come out sooner rather than later.
Yeah, absolutely. Another one, this is a very obvious question that you definitely should ask is, for them to show you some examples of websites that they've built, plugins that they've coded, if you're wanting them to do some advanced functionality, and figure out, okay, cool, this is the site that you're built. What was the task? What were you given? What was the starting point? Were you given a PSD mockup? And so kind of get a feel for how they got from point A to point B, and that's going to show you exactly what they're capable of. For example, if I've had to do this when I'm looking for people to help me build my Divi child theme templates, I want someone that can follow a PSD mockup that my designer designs and make it look exactly like that PSD mockup. And so when they show me sites and I can see that, oh, hey, this is like a lot of default Divi styling. It looks just like Divi out of the box, with some images added. Well, then they're probably not a good fit. I want to see someone that's able to take, a theme like Divi and take it above and beyond because of their coding abilities. And so seeing examples of what they've accomplished and kind of where they started from to get to there will kind of tell you that story.
Absolutely. Next question you may want to ask is, how long have they been building websites? How long have they been coding? What is their experience and stuff? And just ask them and let them tell you.
Yeah. And then another good question is, what does your typical workflow look like? You want to know that they're organized, that they have a workflow, that they're not all over the place, because a amateur developer, they might have some basic skills, but they're not going to be efficient because they don't have a good workflow. But someone that has a lot of experience is going to know not only what to do and how to do it, but the right steps to do it, and have a really good workflow. So they're going to be efficient. They're going to catch mistakes before they happen. And so that's really important, is to hear what their workflow looks like.
And one of the things with workflow you want to ask them is, do they work locally or do they work online? My experience is the majority of true developers, they prefer to work locally. They don't want to work online and stuff. So if they say, oh, I work online, potential red flag there. I'm just going to throw it out there. So might be a less experienced person, because true coders and developers, they don't need to inspect Element. They don't need to do all of the tips and tricks like a do-it-yourselfer like me need to do. They know how to do things already. So they would prefer to work locally on their own machine, and it's faster, it's quicker, and they know what they're doing. So that's the last question that we have. Tim, you look like you're wanting to say something.
I was just going to add to that. If they don't see the benefit of locally, then that means they're really slow. Someone that's really fast doesn't want to have to wait to upload to the server. And so locally is just so much faster because they're able to be really fast.
Yeah. Tomorrow we've got another great topic, the different types of website caching and how to clear them. Tim, until tomorrow, we'll see you then.
Take care. Bye-bye.
We've come to the end of today's episode of WP the Podcast. Join us tomorrow for more daily tips and strategies designed to help you run your WordPress business towards success. Remember to subscribe to WP the Podcast so you can stay up to date with each episode. And don't forget to rate and review us. We'll see you again tomorrow right here on WP the Podcast.